It's time for the Doug Garrison Show. This week, Doug visits with representatives of the Bell Foundation. Did you know there's an Occupy the UP? Well, there is, and we'll find out what they're up to. For those who want to get involved, we learn about opportunities to serve on Marquette City committees. And the Cheshire Dogs perform. Hey, that's us. Stick around, the Doug Garrison Show starts right now.
Tell the host 2 minutes. Stand by live to tape. Lighting to show level, please. Confirm front of house sound and PFL. Roll tape on masters to all the places. Alright, let's clear the set. Cue John music, open stage mics, standby effects, standby CG. Standby to open on 3, 2. Alright folks, let's have a good show. Stand by, roll it in.
We got a great crowd here at Upfront and Company. Thanks for joining us here. Also at home on Charter Channel 12 and Fox UP. Happy New Year to you. I hope you were able to join us Saturday night, New Year's Eve. We were live at the Landmark Inn. We had a great time. We covered the festivities there, and we watched the ball drop, and it was a wonderful experience. We think we did a good job. We had no injuries or arrests, so we consider it a success, and maybe we'll see you again there next year. And speaking of New Year's, we have some resolutions. I don't have any personal resolutions. I don't have the willpower for that. But we have some resolutions for the Doug Garrison Show. You know, up until this point in time, we've kind of gone down the middle. We haven't strayed too far off that middle line. We haven't wanted to cause too many waves. But we're going to start to amp it up a little bit. Our New Year's resolutions are this. When we see something we don't like, we're going to be more critical. When we see something we do like, we're going to be more complimentary. We're going to go out on the limb a little bit and try to push the opinion envelope just a little bit here in 2012. And we're going to start out nice, because that's the way we do things here. We're going to be complimentary. I'm going to compliment someone that I know and I think has done a nice job in this town, and that's Dan Landers at Cook Sign. I don't know if you drive down Washington Street much. Most of us in the community drive down there on a daily basis. But there was always a kind of an ugly parking lot right on the corner of Washington and where Cook Sign is. And I talked to Dan, and he said for years he'd been trying to fix it up. He finally was able to bring all the resources together. He did some landscaping. He put new signage in there, put some bushes and bricks. And it's just a beautiful little location now. It's a parking lot, but it looks great. And this is the type of thing that if each one of us, whether we're residents or businesses, just kind of clean up our own little spot a little bit, take a look at it, step back and say, how can I improve this? And each one of us make a little improvement along the line, then the whole place looks better. So I want to give my compliments, and this is part of the New Year's resolution, compliments to Dan Landers at Cook Signs for making some improvements on his lot. So there you go. Now the next time, a little applause for Cook Sign. Good. All right, okay, we've got a good show tonight. We've got some things that I consider interesting and informative, and we got a neat band from up the road called Cheshire Dogs. So stick around. We'll be right back.
I was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease around age 20. I was in so much pain. I had no quality of life, had a hard time cleaning up the house, just doing daily activities like that.
The most exciting thing for me is to be able to improve the patient's quality of life. Then you've really succeeded.
Since my surgery, I feel wonderful. It has changed my life. It's given me my life back.
Comprehensive orthopedic care, every minute of every day. Orthopedic Surgical Associates of Marquette.
Okay, folks. All right, it took a while for winter to arrive, but there's a blizzard warning. I want you to pay attention. A blizzard warning up the road in Ishpeming, so pay attention. With us are a couple of representatives of the Bell Foundation, Corey Tasava and Ruth Solinsky. Thanks for joining us. You guys are responsible for this blizzard. It's the Blizzard Ball. It's the annual event to benefit the Bell Foundation. Corey, tell us about that a little bit.
We've been having it. This is our third year. We've actually had it in January, and it's always true to the name. We always have a blizzard on the day. So for this year, we changed it up a little bit, and we're going to let people escape from the blizzard by taking them around the world. So we're really excited for it.
That sounds good. Ruth, explain this to us. It's an international event this year. What's that mean?
Well, we're having entertainment, food, and wine that reflects different parts of the world. So you really will be getting away from Ishpeming and just experiencing other parts of the world through some food and entertainment and just an overall good time.
Does it affect what we should wear? Should we
Well,
learn a new language to come to this?
You certainly can. It wouldn't be wasted on some folks
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure. Well, there's already a lot of international flavor in Ishpeming anyway.
There, exactly. And so we're going to try and stay true to that with both our menu and our entertainment options, as well as hosting some of the kids from the area who will be singing for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get back to the Blizzard Ball in a minute. I wanted
Sure.
to talk about the foundation. Just in general, how long has the foundation been around, and what do you try to accomplish with this? Either one.
Well, the foundation was really established as part of our overall capital campaign for the new building that was opened in 2008 for purposes of this effort, and we're really focusing our efforts over the next year or so on generating money for our high-tech surgical equipment.
And you have, the process has been ongoing.
Yes.
Obviously, you have specific things you're trying to raise money for.
Yes.
And in the past, is it always the same thing you're trying to raise money for? This year, what are we raising money for specifically?
Well, every year we come up with a new case statement for the year. This year, top on our priority list is the surgical equipment. We also do quite a bit with this Strength from Within and the youth programming. For the foundation, we try to make sure everything we raise money for is really for the benefit of the entire community. So,
Yeah. Well, the Bell Hospital is so important to the West End, and I'm sure you get a lot of positive feedback and response for people who want to make sure that that hospital is sustainable and always there for future generations. It's a good
Absolutely.
thing. Okay, let's get back to the Blizzard Ball. Date, time, place, how do people plan to go?
Date January 21st.
Okay.
It's a Saturday. It's going to run from 7 to 11. It's always held at the hospital.
It takes place right there.
It does. We
It's a
shut
party
down,
at the hospital.
We shut down Main Street, which is the clinic building. We decorate it up really nicely. Tickets are available online at foundationbell.org, or you can call 485-2699. We still have some sponsorship opportunities available for businesses who want to sponsor somebody's getaway, to take them around the world courtesy of insert business name.
Yeah,
So-
and you've got some good sponsors lined up already.
We have some great sponsors.
Like who?
Vast has come in.
Vast.
UP Health Plan. Hall Render, one of our legal firms.
Upper Peninsula Power Company
Upco.
and Fox Nagani actually during the month of December sponsored the Blizzard Ball sale, where $50 from every car they sold came to the foundation.
Been seeing the ads for that.
Yes.
And you know that list of sponsors, many of those were sponsors of our ball drop here
Yep.
over
Yes.
New Year's Eve. These are some businesses that really do a good job sponsoring things.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Is it, I've seen pictures from it. Is it formal, semi-formal? How should people dress?
We say business casual to black tie. We do have people coming there in gowns, men who choose to rent tuxedos, all the way down to people who wear sports coats and nice dresses. We're not going to turn you away, absolutely
whatever
not.
you're
It's
comfortable in.
Whatever you want to make of the evening is, we're happy to help you with that.
I'm all about the fun. A lot of people are all about the food. Can you give me an example of some of the types of foods that are going to be served?
Absolutely. We've actually split up the different regions to American fare, Asian cuisine, Mediterranean cuisine. We'll have a separate dessert station, and south of the border. So it's all heavy hors d'oeuvres. Don't eat before you come. We will feed you plenty. In between 5 different food stations, it ranges all over the place.
Okay, great.
And nice wine to go along
Yes.
with that as
Well,
well.
okay,
Yes.
well, excellent. It sounds like a good time. Folks, again, it's the 21st. It's at the hospital itself, so if you ever thought, you don't like going to hospitals because it's an experience where it's not always pleasant, this is a great experience at the hospital, and it's going to benefit the Bell Foundation, which benefits the entire Western Marquette County community.
Yes.
All right, ladies, thanks for coming.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with it. Remember, it's a blizzard happening January 21st up at Bell Hospital. All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
for joining us. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to find out about Occupy the UP, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to make some music? Well, Jim's Music and Teaching Center is where it all starts. A great selection of instruments and the area's best music teachers make Jim's Music your one-stop music shop. Jim's Music has name brand instruments, new and used. Plus, they rent and repair, and they have everything you need for school band and orchestra. Jim's Music, locally owned and operated for more than 25 years, and now in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, where music makes you smarter.
Okay, another good crowd here at Up Front. Remember, we tape on Tuesday nights. Come on down and join us. We have a good time. Okay, you're probably familiar with the Occupy Wall Street movement. You've probably heard of that. It's also spread around the country to many different cities. Well, we're not to be outdone. We also have an Occupy the UP movement. With us tonight are a couple representatives of that group. With me are Wade Jackson and Chris Paulus. Thanks for joining us.
Here.
Let me ask you first, Wade. One of the criticisms of the movement is it seems to lack a defined message or mission.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
Well, each Occupy movement is different. The Occupy Wall Street has their own core values. They're defined in the 99% Declaration. We have similar tenets or principles of what we would like to hope to achieve, and those have been can be found in December's issue of the Marquette Monthly as people who read it.
For those who haven't read it, what are those?
The first one is we want to get rid of, we want to get money out of politics. We want to, in the Federal Reserve, we want to cancel the national debt, both foreign and domestic. We believe that the American people shouldn't be responsible for the government's failures to budget. We also want a elimination of student debt. And these are just a few off the top of my head.
Assuming that you're on the same page with Wade, how do we go about doing that? I mean, some people would probably agree with these. I mean, obviously we want to get rid of the national debt. I'm not sure about just wiping out student debt and other debt, but how do we accomplish these things?
Oh, in fact, there's a website called OccupyStudentDebt.com. It's a petition for 1 million people. Once that 1 million people have signed that petition, they will all agree not to pay their student loans. Student loans is $1 trillion in our country, and it's more than all the credit card debt in our country. Anyway, how you can approach eliminating all this is you can, in terms of banks, Wall Street in Washington the analogy is a revolving door, and it's very true. I mean, we have people in office in Washington that worked on banks, Goldman Sachs, Tim Geithner, and we bail out banks with government taxpayer money. It works back and forth. So how do you eliminate that bind? Well, you can reinstate the Glass-Steagall Act, which was an act that separated commercial banks and investment banks, and that's why you end up with banks like MF Global, who lost $1.2 billion of consumer money, and they don't know where it is. They've said openly that they don't know where it is. So we need to separate those. And there's a court case called Citizens United, and that was just established in 2010, and that enables any individual or corporation, in fact, to donate endless amounts of money towards political campaigns. So that needs to be reversed also.
Well, this is all part of a free market system and capitalism. Are you suggesting we do away with that system?
No, we're not. Occupy the UP is not anti-capitalist. We believe in political, economic, and social reform. As far as the economic reforms, we're not necessarily supporters of free market or a regulated market. We simply leave that up to the people of the country to decide what they would rather have. And so far, to say that which one we want, that would be an individual choice. So we want to abstain from taking a position on that.
Are you looking for more members? I see you have some members with you here. Are you trying to grow and sustain this movement in the UP, Chris?
Certainly. I mean, we're trying to get as much participation as possible. We live in a quite ideal community up here in Marquette,
Sure.
which is nice, and I think maybe that's part of the reason people aren't as inclined to come out here. We haven't been as affected by foreclosures. We have credit unions here. We have local business. This is quite emblematic of what a lot of people around the country would like to see. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we can't inform people. That doesn't mean that we can still not stage demonstrations about what's going on.
So is that what the group does? I mean, my question is, what do you do? What are you trying to accomplish? How do you do it?
Yeah, we've staged a few demonstrations. We've encouraged people to withdraw funds from Wells Fargo and invest in local credit unions. We've encouraged people to shop more locally.
Okay, these are some specific things that
Yes.
I'd like to hear that people can actually grab onto, and if they agree with what you're trying to do, can actually do. Mm-hmm. That sounds good. One last question. This is some of your detractors have said, at least specifically about the Wall Street movement, take a shower, get a job, and shut up. How do you respond to that type of claim.
Well, if I may, sorry, I know you, but there's a lot of argument against Occupy Wall Street and that it's anti-capitalist, but in fact, we don't really live in a truly capitalist society, I would argue. I mean, capitalism wouldn't bail out banks mainly. You know, that's a prime example of what's going on here, you know. So, what was your question again?
Well, it was just about how do you respond to your detractors. But you've made your point. What I would suggest at this point is, and we don't have any time left here, but people, if you agree with this or you want to get involved in this, you can find you guys on what, Facebook?
Yep.
Find them on Facebook, find out when they're going to meet, read their newsletters, see if it's something you agree with or disagree with, and come to their meetings and express your opinions. Okay, regardless of whether people agree with you or not, you're stepping up and voicing your opinions, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Occupy the UP. Okay, stick around. When we come back, we're going to give you some ideas of how you can get involved right here in Marquette. So stick around.
Winter's finally here, but it's not too late to take advantage of our $5 off all Twin and Clean special through the month of February.
Really? Again? Anyway, we still have a great lineup of Lennox furnaces. Rubber soup.
That's right. Lennox. Innovative, quiet, and up to 98% efficient. Truce.
Truce.
At least until postseason.
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Bell Hospital. This year, the Blizzard Ball goes international. It's Saturday, January 21st, and your attendance will benefit the Bell Foundation. And by Checker Cab. Checker Cab and Checker Bus, providing safe transportation. And by Cliffs Natural Resources, a global mining leader with local investment and impact. Cliffs Natural Resources. Okay. All right, the holidays are over. We're in that time of year now when things slow down a little bit. No excuse for having nothing to do, though, because here's something to do. It's a cake decorating contest at the Peter White Public Library. There's always something going on there. This is kind of fun, though. There's professional, amateur, youth categories. Go to the Peter White Public Library website. You'll find a way to enter this. Here's an example of one of the winners from last year. It's a beautiful winter scene. A cake decorating contest. You have to have your entries in by this Saturday, the 7th, and it sounds like a lot of fun. So no excuses for having nothing to do. Plus, when it's all said and done, you can eat the cake, so that's a good deal too. Okay, thank you very much. With us now is Jason Schneider. And Jason, you've been on before. Welcome back. You're city commissioner. How's that going for you so far? You enjoying it?
It's been great. Yeah. The learning curve has been really steep, but it's been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it must be. You got a great commission, some great people on that commission. I think our city manager's settling in, so it should be a pretty good environment.
It's been really positive. You know, for how acrimonious politics can be on a national level, and even how historically it's been pretty bad. Yeah. Right now, everything is really good. The commissioners, we all get along. We've got different opinions, but it's been great.
Sure. We'll set a good example. Now, the reason I wanted to have someone from the city on, and you were gracious enough to come on, is there's a lot of openings for people to serve on city boards and committees. And for people who complain a lot, who just complain, like me, I'm world class, here's an opportunity to put some of your complaints into some action and actually step up and say, okay, I'm going to quit just complaining. I'm going to do something about it. And you indicated there's like 25 vacancies right now on 15 different boards or committees.
Correct. We've got almost 20 boards and committees throughout the city. Right now there's 25 vacancies on a number of them, and that ranges the gambit whether you're looking at the Senior Service Task Force, Parks and Rec, Arts and Culture, the Planning Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, Brownfield Redevelopment. I mean, honestly, on most of our boards we have vacancies. And things like the Planning Commission, where we've got 3 vacancies, the Planning Commission is extremely important on how our city operates.
Absolutely.
It's what sets our master plan. It reviews all of the development that's going to happen in the community. You know, so many people are frustrated and upset with how Founders Landing was developed. That would have been their opportunity to speak their mind, whether they wanted to come to a meeting or actually get involved. There's 3 positions available right now.
When someone volunteers to serve on a board or committee, are they automatically on, or do they get considered then by someone?
No, if somebody is interested in being involved in one of the boards or committees, they can go and pick up an application at the city clerk's office. When they're done filling it out, they drop it off at the city manager's office, and then the city commission reviews it, deems if the person is somebody that they want on the commission, which For the most part, we're happy to have anybody. We really want a wide variety of our constituents represented on these boards and committees. For more information, people can go to mqtcty.org and find information under the government tab, under the boards and committees. It's all there, lists the vacancies, and it lists the description of each one so that people can find out, what their time commitment's going to be.
Well, that was my next question. What kind of a commitment is that information's all available on the website?
It is all available on the web. Some committees end up putting in probably 10 hours a week. That's probably the planning.
That's a big
planning
one.
and city commission.
Right.
Those are two really big ones. But some of the committees meet as few as 2 times a year.
Yeah.
So it really could be just about anything.
Yeah. Well, I encourage it. I served on the board, the Parks and Rec Advisory Board for a few years. I found a real valuable experience. We were able to create plans to submit to the commission. We had a lot of input, and I appreciated the fact that the commission actually listened to what we said because we looked into it and represented our constituency. So I think it's a great way for you to get involved in the city. And once again, instead of complaining, get off your duff and do something about it and be a part of the solution.
Please do. This is the one place you can make a political difference. It would be great to have everybody involved.
Okay. Once again, check the city website for those vacancies and commitments involved. And as Jason said, get involved. All right. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Great.
Have a good 2012. Good luck to the city of Marquette.
Thank you much, Doug.
Okay. Stick around. When we come back, the Cheshire Dogs. All right. We'll be right back.
Guess what? You can get any new or used car finance in the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union for 3.9% APR. New or used. Got your eye on this new Escalade? 3.9%. How about this 75 Gremlin? 3.9%. Looking at this stylish Dodge Dart? 3.9%. How about a new Chevy Cruze? 3.9%. RV, boat, tractor? 3.9%. What about this DeLorean time machine? 3.9%. 3.9% auto loans, new and used at the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union. Stop in and apply today.
Where do I even begin? I'm ready. Anytime Fitness, 24/7 access.
Tonight's music segment is brought to you by Jim's Music and Teaching Center, where music makes you smarter. All right, we went up the road earlier. I like saying up the road. We went up the road earlier tonight and visited with the people from the Bell Foundation. We're going up again to visit with these guys who are some talented musicians. These are Cheshire Dogs, and with us first is Rusty Hubbs, the lead man. Rusty, thanks for joining us.
It's good to be here, Doug.
How long you guys been together?
We got together as a band last spring.
And so, fairly new together, but you seem to get along. That's all right. You got some gigs coming up to play at?
We do have a gig on January the 28th in Negaunee at Pasquale's for the Highland Club, Big Highland Club annual party.
Can people reach you on Facebook or website, or if they want to get a hold of you?
We do have a Facebook page with contact information.
Do you like doing weddings, other types of venues like that, available for that?
We like doing anything that pays.
Spoken like a true musician, right? Why don't you introduce the rest of the band to us?
All right. Here on bass is Matt Rich. And on drums, we've got Scott Sergila.
All right, Scott. And Scott's an expectant father, I understand, so good luck with that, Scott. Okay, well, I'm going to talk no more. I'm going to let you guys get going. Here they are, Cheshire Dogs.
There's this girl that we all know. She paints her fingers, she paints her toes. She thinks it will, but you know she won't. 'Cause when she says she does, she really means she don't, yeah. You take her to the restaurant, and what's on the menu Well, she don't want, she thinks the chef should add just a touch more salt. And if it's still not right, buddy, it's your fault. She's high, a maintenance woman, with eyes that say come on, her hand to push you back. She's high, a maintenance woman. She ain't got nothing that's worth all that. She's got a big surprise that the two of you are gonna have a ball. Then she points the car right toward the mall. Well, she's high, a maintenance woman, with eyes that say come on, her hands that push you back. She's high, a maintenance woman. Well, she ain't got nothing that's worth all that. She's high, a maintenance woman. She'll chew you up, spit you out, and that's a fact. She's high, a maintenance woman. And guys, I think you should run and don't look back. Very much.
I used to have those real bad, painful used car blues, until Riverside cured it all with news.
A used car isn't new, just barely used. It's super inspected and comes with a warranty up to 100,000 miles. Riverside and Northern Motors has over 600 used vehicles, many used with low miles, priced around half of what a new car would cost.
So if you're looking for a sweet news ride, it's Northern Motors or Riverside.
If you're hearing this ad, we just got a whole bunch of fresh used cars.
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Iron Bay Computer and Design. Iron Bay gives you the quality and service you demand. And by Dan's Bridal and Tuxedo. Don't miss seeing all the latest bridal and tuxedo fashions at the Bridal Experience this Sunday at NMU. For a chance to win the $1,000 grand prize, RSVP by calling Dan's Bridal and Tuxedo at 228-8184. All right. Okay. I want to thank our guests. We had Corey and Ruth from the Bell Foundation. Don't forget the Blizzard Ball. We had Chris and Wade from Occupy the UP and Jason from the Marquette City Commission. Remember, like us on Facebook and join us here again next week. Let's get one more from Cheshire Dogs.
Paid my dues in Dallas. I partied hard down in old Cowtown. I roamed around in Houston, but I always found myself El Paso bound. 'Cause there's a sweet Chiquita just across the bridge. She keeps me warm at night, you know how it is. You can just call me a sucker for senoritas. Listen up. In San Antone, I'm on the river walk. If I listen hard, I can hear the talk about some women down there. They're not too hard to find. From what I'm told, I must have had some fun. I don't know what I did, but now I'm on the run. Back to the Mexican ladies, you're always on my mind. Paid my dues in Dallas. I partied hard down in old Cowtown. I roamed around in Houston, but I always found myself El Paso bound. 'Cause there's a sweet Chiquita to cross the Rio Grande. She'll look me in the eye, then take me by the hand. You can just call me a sucker for senorita.